This month, man, we're only in the first half of it and already we are absolutely slammed with news. We got new MMOs, we got trailers for MMOs we've been anticipating, we got news on a certain South Korean MMO approaching a Western release, and even more MMOs shutting down. Since we're a mere week off Christmas though, both Mrs. STIX and I would like to formally wish you all a happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, depending on where you're from. Now, sit back, go make yourself some hot cocoa, maybe play some hearty Christmas music, and listen to me regale you with this month's weekly bite of MMORPG news. Real quick though, before we get into today's weekly bite of MMORPG news, I would like to bring to everyone's attention this video's sponsor, Dragon Raja. Dragon Raja is an absolutely gorgeous upcoming mobile MMORPG from Zulon Games being built on Unreal Engine 4. The game is completely open world, will feature a large-scale PvP battle supporting up to 100 players, and as is no doubt very evident, has what is quite possibly the best graphics ever produced in a mobile MMO. The team behind Dragon Raja pride themselves on delivering something out of the ordinary for mobile games. Players will be able to experience the game in a unique way, providing the freedom to play the game how you want. You don't have a specific class, instead you're given the option of becoming a race car driver, a warrior for hire, or even a chef if you're into cooking. Options are limitless. The game is currently open for pre-registration, so if this sounds like something that would interest you, and it should, then go ahead and click the link in the description below to register. Now let's start this off with some exciting news first. Corepunk is a brand new top-down action MMORPG from Artificial Core, a Dutch developer looking to create a large, seamless open world for players to explore. Yeah, a brand new upcoming open world MMORPG. It will be set in a post-apocalyptic world with an eclectic fusion of genres ranging from cyberpunk to dark fantasy. There will be your traditional classes found in game like tanks, healers, DPS, and the like, but you'll also be playing as preset heroes as opposed to creating your own character. Exactly how that will affect the game is unknown to me. Maybe they have more personality crafted to fit the narrative being told, I'm not sure. But you'll have the freedom to highly customize the playstyle of the hero you select. It's expected to have open world PvP, albeit with the option of disabling it if that is of concern to you, and as stated, it utilizes an action combat system. The game is currently undergoing internal alpha testing, however they expect open beta to begin approximately sometime towards the end of 2020. Ever since Starvolt, the developers behind Mortal Online, released their trailer just a couple days ago, I have been spammed via Discord and social media with requests to cover not only Mortal Online 2, but also the original Mortal Online. The issue with that is, I've never played Mortal Online, and while I'd love to do a video on it, with Mortal Online 2 having just announced, I feel as though it might be best to just wait for this one to come out and cover this one for right now. And yeah, Mortal Online 2 was just announced. I know I so nonchalantly dropped that bomb in the middle of a statement as to why I hadn't done a video on its predecessor yet. According to Starvolt, Mortal Online 2 will feature a large, first-person sandbox world for players to explore along with full PvP and full loot. While an interesting choice in terms of MMORPG, this is not uncommon in survival games. There will be no levels or classes in the game. Instead, you'll simply work on upgrading various skills and using them to get ahead. I don't know, to me, this sounds more like a survival game than anything, but I mean, they claim it's a full-fledged MMORPG, so who am I to argue? Mortal Online 2 is expected to go into closed alpha testing around the middle of 2020. I've actually done 2 separate videos on Project TL this year. I guess this will mark the 3rd time I've spoken about the game, but you'll like the reason why. Project TL, which was first announced as Lineage Eternal years ago, has been confirmed by NCSoft to have an official closed beta scheduled, and that's for sometime during the first half of 2020. I was honestly kind of surprised that the game was still actively in development, considering how long we went dark with regards to news on it, but it looks as though Lost Ark's main competition will finally be entering the ring. I've always been a fan of Project TL, so I'm really looking forward to this one. There's been no word on an official Western release date yet, but it's better to know that the game is releasing with a potential Western release down the line than to have it canceled like another MMO, Period Chronicles. If you weren't already aware, KRITIKA Online, which was shut down earlier this year, relaunched recently as KRITIKA Reboot. While the launch went over pretty well actually under the new management, averaging 2,500 to 3,500 players playing concurrently through Steam, there have been an influx of gold sellers plaguing the game. Allm, the developers and new publishers of the game in the West, have been on a constant banning spree, banning hundreds of accounts every week that were actively participating in real money trading. But that isn't all. Since the game is under the management of Allm now, they have access to content that NMAS didn't, and likewise are releasing their brand new Archer class in the near future. I actually have a video for KRITIKA Reboot planned for Monday if you're looking for a more, I don't know, concrete look at how it plays. Alternatively, if you want, you can also just click the link in the description to be taken directly to the game. Yeah, we're actually going ahead and talking about today's sponsor as well. Why? Because it's an MMORPG and an incredibly unique looking one at that. Dragon Raja is gorgeous. Its graphics are, in my opinion, almost unparalleled for mobile devices. I watched the trailer, I checked some clips on YouTube, I saw character creation, and I saw gameplay. This game looks absolutely incredible for mobile devices. And onto that, the fact that it gives you such insane freedom to do what you want, I can see this becoming one of the more popular MMOs on that platform. The game right now has entered pre-registration, meaning that you can go ahead and pre-register for the game before it launches in the next few months. All you need to do to pre-register is click the link in the description of the pinned comment and you'll be taken right on over to the pre-registration page. Dragon Raja is supposedly different for each person, as NPCs offer different reactions and missions may vary depending on their actions and decisions. The game offers a rich story and is set in a hybrid environment of both magic and realism. You can see just how good this game looks from the trailer in the background, which is actually in-game footage, surprisingly. This news actually comes in two different forms, the good and the bad. The good? There's a brand new zone being added to the game called the Myeodon Mine, a zone that not even South Korea saw. This will feature content for max level characters, but at the same time, the update that brings the mine will also feature a brand new questline for new players, so all in all, kinda good news. However, at the same time, ASTELLIA is shutting down in South Korea. Yeah, that's actually the bad news. But yeah, Nexon announced that they were closing down its servers for good. But thankfully, this shutdown will have absolutely no effect on its Western incarnation, as the publishers over here have already deviated from the game's origins, making it much more appealing for our market. But then again, this is Nexon, and Nexon are shutting down games faster than I can download them, so this was already kind of expected. I did a video on TemTem several months ago. That video showcased the game for the first like 10, maybe 15 hours of the game and went on to garner almost 100,000 views. I took my time with it because, I don't know, it looked like a Pokemon MMO, the Pokemon MMO that I'd always wanted, and I had no intention of rushing my first experience of that game. However, when I did a video on it, the game had no expected release date. That, however, has all changed now, as last week, Krama Games, the developers behind TemTem, announced that it will be launching into early access on January 21st, 2020. Yeah, next month. If you have ever wanted to play through a Pokemon game as an MMO with other players out exploring the world, teaming up with a friend to tackle every encounter, then this is probably what you're looking for. This is not a Pokemon MMO private server. This is a real, high-quality game with heavy inspiration taken from the Pokemon series. Currently, the game is available on PC and will launch on a PC next month. However, it is unconfirmed whether it'll ever launch on consoles or other platforms. NCSoft have been teasing Blade & Soul's new Will of Iron update all month, and as of the 11th, it has officially launched. The update brings with it several additions to the game, such as the Destroyer's new spec, a new heroic dungeon called Hangar Zero, and a new questline for players to pursue. This isn't including the new daily challenges, a new Christmas event, cosmetic items, materials, gems, and everything else that accompanies a Blade & Soul update. That is not everything, though. Who here remembers the Blade & Soul Unreal Engine 4 overhaul? Yeah, I bet all you guys do. Well, the South Korean version of the game is actually getting the first part of the update this month. When the North American version of the game will receive the update remains to be seen, but if this isn't news to get excited over, then I don't know what is. If you're not up to date with The Elder Scrolls Online, then you may want to skip this, but for those of you that are, you'll be happy to know that ZeniMax actually announced their plan for 2020, a series of updates that will be officially announced during their Vegas event in January in much greater detail. But for right now, minus the spoiler of a certain character's off-screen fate, it looks as though we're going back to Skyrim, boys and girls, cause you know who's back? If you're not already playing The Elder Scrolls Online, then this might be enough to persuade you to come and try it out. I have never been of the opinion that Perfect World Entertainment are a good company. Actually, I don't think I've heard anyone ever say that Perfect World Entertainment is a good company. I played Perfect World International, I played Jade Dynasty, and Forsaken World long enough to know who they are. Nevertheless, during the Game Awards on Thursday, Perfect World and Cryptic announced a brand new Magic the Gathering MMORPG called Magic Legends. Yeah, After literal years of hyping this game up, we're finally getting it. While they claim it's an MMORPG, they also went on to mention that it's more accurate to refer to it as an MMO action RPG, so it's something like Neverwinter or maybe something like Black Desert. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Regardless, they did reveal a pretty sick teaser trailer for the game, and I will be the first to admit that I am definitely excited. Or I would be if Perfect World Entertainment weren't the ones behind it. But alas, they are, and most of my excitement is already contained. If you still actively play MapleStory 2, then you've no doubt noticed that it's had quite a decline in terms of player activity. There are various reasons for this, one of which is content at endgame. Thankfully, Nexon have remedied this with the announcement of a brand new expansion titled KRITIKA earlier this week. The expansion, which is live as of the 11th, brought quite a bit of content, including a level cap up to 99, a new content, an entire new content with 23 individual zones to explore, dungeons, and more. You can find specifics on the official website, but suffice it to say, hitting the new level cap and completing all this new content will likely take you a long while. If you have been waiting on Lost Ark, which, let's be real here, you've all been waiting on Lost Ark, then this information will definitely bring a smile to your face. I did a video on this in much greater detail just yesterday. If you want to go ahead and watch that, then you're more than welcome to, but suffice it to say, Smilegate had job openings that just closed a few weeks ago. Those range from looking for someone that deals with Unreal Engine 3 and 4 with multi-platform gaming in mind, to people looking to handle overseas business, with requirements being the ability to speak fluent English. A buddy of mine, Tenek, who actually has a YouTube channel for console MMOs, who you should totally check out if you're interested in that, by the way, brought to my attention that Smilegate also have an ongoing console project with Crossfire and are in the process of bringing other titles to console, so do note that that could be what the job posting seeking someone with multi-platform gaming experience could be pertaining to. Regardless, while this isn't a concrete set-in-stone confirmation, you can rest assured that they are preparing for a Western release at last, and these may be the final steps required to really get things in gear. I don't know how many of you actively patrol Amazon's New World Twitter page, but for those of you that don't, you'll definitely find relief that the game is still in active development. Actually, they're so far ahead of development that they have not only a closed beta scheduled, but an actual launch date of May 2020. For those of you unaware, New World is an MMO, but not an MMORPG. Instead, Amazon prefers to classify it as a survival MMO, but not something like Ark or Rust, no. This is an actual full, large-scale, massively multiplayer title featuring thousands of players in one single world, but instead of it being an RPG, they're actually aiming to apply it to the survival genre. Their goal is to make something truly unique, dynamic, and very different to what the genre is used to. While additional information will be revealed the closer we get to the release date, I will admit that I'm very excited. And that covers the majority of MMO-related news that I was made aware of over the last week. If you know of anything that I missed, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram with a link to the article so I can talk about it. Anyway guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.